I'm sure you've been to organizations where employees are tardy and often absent, and you find that even sometimes they are hostile towards clients and even their workmates. And in some of this organization, you have excessive gossiping. These are some of the indicators of an organization that has a negative, poor, or toxic culture. While on the other hand, you find organizations where employees are cordial, professional, innovative, driven, and customer focused. And these are indicators of organizations with healthy culture. Employee turnover is one of the major indicators of an organization's culture. Organizations that have high employee turnover tend to probably have toxic cultures. A strong positive culture can be a basis of competitive advantage. In fact, Cummins confirmed that corporate culture is the only sustainable competitive advantage that is completely in the control of an entrepreneur. Organization culture defines the proper way to behave within an organization. The culture consists of the shared beliefs and values established by the leader or the founder of the organization. And these shared values and beliefs are communicated and reinforced through the various methods and policies, procedures, which can help to shape employee perception, behavior, and understanding. Hesselbein emphasized that culture does not change because we desire it to change. And he goes on to emphasize that culture has to be a deliberate thing, which is instituted in an organization. A work environment that possesses a good culture is driven by purpose and clear expectations, and this acts as a motivation and inspiration for employees to enable them engage in their duties more efficiently and to interact and even take ownership of their own obligations to and within the organization. It leads to a higher level of engagement amongst employees, which ultimately leads to an increase in productivity. Organization culture is created by a variety of factors, which includes the founder's values and preferences, industry demands, and also early values and goals that were established when the organization was created. As we know, organization cultures change over time. And we've seen organizations that started out well, but over time the culture changed and it became a toxic work environment. So organizational culture can be maintained first and foremost by attracting people with the same values that is important to the organization, selecting people who suit the organization values and culture and they can fit well within the organization. Also attrition. Let people who don't agree or don't comply with the organization culture and values to go, so they don't undermine your culture. Of course, orientation and onboarding employees. New employees should be orientated. They should know how things work within your organization. Leadership also is important. The leadership has to continue to communicate, has to continue to acknowledge the core values that drives the culture within the organization. And of course, lastly, the reward systems in the organization. People who exemplify the values that is wanted in the organization should have, of course, be recognized in terms of promotion, being leaders. When they become leaders, they can even encourage others to adapt to that culture even more and embrace those values even further. If you don't deliberately institute an organization culture, then that means any culture can arise within your organization. And in most cases, that culture or the culture that arises will probably be a toxic one. And that definitely is not good for business.